See, now that makes me really think because if that's the case, that makes me think TPUSA is involved in it. Okay.
Or the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is more historically accurate than Protestantism. Prove me wrong. Well, you're more aggressive than I would be. First of all, I love Mormons. I've said that forever.
So, everybody watching, is the audio better now? Because we had to end the stream and come back on. So, everybody watching, let me know, is the audio better? So, we are here with Henry Dales and, of course, Ali FBI, and shout out to Chris in the background. So, the first thing I want to ask you, Henry, where we were starting off at, what did you see before the Charlie Kirk, assassination? Was it anything that was going on with the people on stage or anything weird? I'm sure you probably have been asked that before. Did you see anything that was strange?
No, primary. Well, not. The only thing that was strange was just I didn't realize there would be such low security, and I didn't realize that they would set Charlie up in such a vulnerable position, surrounded by a bunch of buildings. And I already kind of felt iffy about that leading up, but I was like, surely they've had this place screened. Surely they have something like drones are going. And then come to find out after the whole event transpired, none of that was done.
You tell them the truth. Anyway, on our way in, we had drone footage of the crowd building, and Charlie had it on his phone. I said, Charlie, I don't like this place. There are too many buildings.
It was like, this could have, and I talked to the Congressman Mike Kennedy. He's shortly after, and he asked because he wanted to know my ideas, basically, or my opinions on if what I would have done or what other people should have done in regards to making it more safe and stuff like that, especially for such a big advocate for free speech and someone who has a lot of animosity towards him from other people. And I was like, dude, honestly, easily, at least bare minimum, we should have had some drones or something. And that's for like any moving forward event where there's a big political activist or something like that. Like there needs to be that type of coverage and stuff like that if you're going to have an outside event.
Definitely. Yeah. Did you see any? I know I'd heard some other students speaking that they saw a drone. Did you actually see anything yourself with your own eyes? No. Okay.
No, because I was there, and I was, like I said, I already felt funny about it because, like, obviously the whole Butler, Pennsylvania thing happened, and so I figured that they would have at least had something going. And I even kind of scanned, maybe it was probably 20 minutes before Charlie even showed up. I kind of just scanned the roofs too because I was kind of just a little bit curious on, like, all right, do they have anyone like security or anyone on the roofs and stuff like that? So I was already kind of looking, and there wasn't. So I was like, this is kind of shady, especially.
Okay. And when everything happened and everybody got on the ground, from my vantage point, me not being there, it seemed like everybody was actors. It was almost like everybody knew. There was no panicking. People just, and then they got behind a car. Like nobody just, like, I would just assume everybody just would have rushed to the parking lot and went to their car and got the hell on. They didn't do that. They just was like, oh my God. They had their phones like, oh my God. And they hide behind a car instead of going to their own car. Is there, or was there some type of prepping for the crowd that says, hey, if, I don't know, something went wrong, is there an evacuation plan? Why did everybody, it was like 40 people hiding behind a car. It was like the dumbest thing in the world.
So one, I don't think everyone that was up by Charlie is including me,
Mm.
I don't think we registered immediately that it was a gunshot, because it was so like from our vantage point and from where we were, and the sounds and especially like the echoing, it sounded honestly like a firecracker went off, and I think multiple people have said that. Yeah,
Yeah.
but the people that were closer to the Losi building, that were kind of up on the balconies and stuff like that, it was a lot louder, and it was a lot more. I guess you could say um, extreme of a sound to them.
Yeah.
So it's like once it happened, they immediately booked it, but everyone down at the bottom, we were kind of all kind of confused, and we didn't realize what happened until we
Yeah.
looked at Charlie and saw him fall off of his chair and just saw all the blood spilling out and stuff like that. But for me included, and for the people that were like around the amphitheater where the different levels were, uh, we really couldn't evacuate like that. There was the way they had the guardrails and everything set up. There was really only two exit ways,
Mm.
and it was out to the fountains under where Charlie came through, up under the bridge of the Hall of Flags, and there was two narrow spots that you could run out, and everyone was so crammed and trying to, like, if we everyone tried to run out at one time, we would have just tripped over each other. And then you
Yeah.
had the whole water thing right there. Like I didn't take the path out. I kind of jumped down into like this, I guess it was like a 12-foot like wall or drain type thing for the fountain, that went out towards the open, but every not everyone would have been able to just run out, and I think everyone was just kind of curious on, like, I think we know where the sound came from, but I think everyone was kind of more concerned of, okay, is there going to be more shots? We all kind of just went out towards the front, but then there's a whole bunch of controversy because there's a whole bunch of people that once they realized and everyone evacuated, some people just started hanging around the crime scene, and then people going up and throwing looting the table and stuff like that, which is why the camera guy went and took the SD card out of the camera.
Okay. Allie, you got anything? What's your thought?
Whereabouts were you when? So Hunter Kozak, I believe his name is, when he was asking that question. Where were you, and did you see anything that happened prior, and when it happened, and how fast did you move, and what was your feelings on that? Like, just guide me through that, because if I was up close, that close, I don't even know where I would go. Do I go
Yeah,
left? Do I go right?
well, I didn't think to go anywhere. I mean, we were so crammed in that little amphitheater, the people that were at least really close on those levels, there was no way of going left or right or running. You just had to either get down and
Now that guy has a gun
oh, what the heck?
right there.
Yeah.
So these two guys, and as you can see, the camera is still up. You see, what is the guy's name? Terrell, right?
Yeah,
Terrell is about
Terrell
to take,
Farnsworth.
right. So Terrell is literally taking the SD cards out of the camera, and the cameras are still there. There's no reason why, because see, these two guys are guarding everything. So what the hell is Terrell doing? And why did you say? And
He's
why
also
did
standing
you?
on Charlie's chair that Charlie
Yeah, yeah,
fell off of.
right. But why are you saying that Terrell gave the SD card to the law enforcement if you didn't see it?
Yeah, because so here's my thing. First off, I didn't know when this whole thing occurred. I didn't see this video. I saw only videos of after on clips on TikTok and stuff like that of
But why
him
did you
at the
say
thing. Because so this
Emery called
because
the
this
law
is my thing.
enforcement? Okay.
Because this is what happens. So when we're outside and we're by the trees and stuff like that, I asked the cop. I said, "Is everyone that was like at the front and stuff like that giving testimonies?" And they said, "Yeah, They're all in there, and they're all in the Keller building. They're all getting down information, getting our phone numbers and everything, getting statements, and then they're sending us on our way." I said, "Including the crew members," and they were like, "Yes," or the people that were still there, that people that didn't go
No,
with Charlie.
they stayed
So
here through the whole time. Remember what Ali just said? This is a 3-hour video. They didn't move. Terrell stayed. He went from the parking lot back to the parking lot to the back.
And I think that's why he got demonetized.
So that's why that's what. So based off of what I was told. So based off of what I was told, that's why I assumed that's why he gave the cards to him. That's why I was based off of what I was told at the front.
You said, "Oh, you said I know he gave the memory cards to the law enforcement." Why would you say that if you didn't?
Because that's what.
See that?
Yeah, I didn't see it. I'll acknowledge that I didn't see that, but that's what I was told. So
you were told by
who?
That's probably not. Yeah,
by who?
That's probably not. Say wait, what?
By who? Who told you that?
Are you allowed to say?
Say what?
Are you allowed to say or no?
I don't even know. I don't know if there's anything like on.
Who told you that?
I don't know. The only
you don't know who told you?
No, I don't know who told. Like, so I don't know the person's name. I just asked the people around.
No. Were they the feds? Were they law enforcement? That's the question. Because you said the feds came later. You said law enforcement was interviewing everybody.
So
and they
yeah,
were
so it was the.
Listen. Yeah. This is my question. Who told you that Terrell Farnsworth gave law enforcement the memory cards?
So they didn't tell me the name. I didn't even know the name. The guy's name was Terrell. But
that a guy, the camera guy, gave law enforcement the memory card.
I don't know who the person's name was. That's the thing.
Who was they? What? Like, why are they telling you?
He just wants to know if it was a.
Because here's the thing, and yeah, because it was a rant. It was like
be law enforcement. That's the question. Who was it?
So
what was their job?
Someone told me, it was a pedestrian told me that they said that law enforcement got the evidence from the people of TPUSA. So I took their word for it. And so whenever they said everyone was up in the Keller building giving statements and everything, that's why I automatically assumed that whoever it was, I didn't even know it was Taylor. But when the evidence came out later of the video of him, that's why I assumed that he gave the SD cards over to them.
And the reason why I'm asking you this is because you were so adamant about, he gave it to law enforcement. And it, because we're just asking, right? I'm like, oh, did you see something? Who did it? And now you're like, a random ass person said they gave what were y'all talking about for him? What were y'all talking about?
Well, that makes sense. Well, because so the reason when we were talking about all this stuff was because people were all they were all talking about like, oh, well, Charlie got hit in the chest or Charlie this, Charlie that. And I was like, no, he got shot in the neck. I was right there. And then that whole conversation transpired into all these other things. Oh, well, this is his critical condition, or, oh, what evidence do we have on this old kook that they took or whatever. And within all these articulations of a group of people, and then them also talking to cops that were trying to get information from them, this is all the information I gathered. So people that said he was shot, he was in stable condition, wasn't in stable condition. I told them, no, he was shot in the neck. So I took on all this information, even though some of it I knew was wrong, like the whole him getting shot in the chest. But what logically made consistent sense to me during the time was that, oh yeah, they definitely would have handed over that evidence to the cops and stuff, because they told us everyone was up in the Keller building giving statements and they were gathering all the stuff that they had.
They weren't in, like I told you, that's a
Well, now I know that now, but like
they Farnsworth never left that tent except to go to his car, because the cars, it was some SUVs behind the tent. He went from the SUV to because he was putting the camera equipment in there. So the thing about it is, and here's the problem. The reason why I'm asking you that's because we've seen who he gave the memory card to. Yeah. It was somebody behind the tent. It wasn't no Kelly building. It wasn't law enforcement. He gave I can show it to you. He gave the memory card.
I want to see it. I haven't seen this stuff.
Well, I don't want to play too much.
I know.
Monetized because the guy keeps watching.
Now you know what I was saying. By the way, everybody.
Now I know what you're saying, Allie.
So, I met Henry in a chat with the cameraman, not the one that took down the SD cards. His name is Andrew Fauci, if I'm saying it right. I met Henry from there, and we started chatting. And this is how we're all coming today together regarding this topic, because we wanted to interview you because we've been working hard on this.
Yeah.
we've been watching hours of footage, and we just want some truth and some answers.
Yeah.
That's all.
But
That's
you
all.
just raised my antenna when you said, "Oh, he gave the." No, he didn't, because we know who he gave the memory card to. Because the thing about it is, he was taking the camera equipment to his car, but he had the memory card in his pocket, and it was literally in his hat. He didn't even put it in his pocket; he put it in his hat.
Yeah.
So
and then he
that
was
makes
like,
me
"This
question.
somebody else."
Yeah, so now that makes me question a lot of things that people
But
said
that's why I'm
happened.
questioning you, because you said he did something else. So I'm just asking you, like, why would you say
because
that you didn't
mine's
know?
contemporary
Well,
on these other
Andrew
evidences.
Fauci said it to him on the live stream when we were on there.
What did he say?
Gave,
What did he say?
Andrew Fauci's the photographer of that day on the live stream where I met Henry. He said on the live stream that they gave it to the feds.
It was passed over to the feds, is what he
Yeah.
said, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did say that.
And
And
so,
I said,
like-
I don't believe that. I believe it's manipulated. And he goes, Allie, no, remember that live stream? I don't know if you remember it. He goes,
Yeah, well, I was in and out of the live stream, but yeah. I remember, see now that makes me really, really think, because if that's the case, that makes me think TPUSA is involved in it. You know what I mean?
And that's why Candace is all over this, because remember earlier it was like, how dare Candace say this? Candace is
Well,
off
here's
base.
the thing.
He just got shot. But
The
now
reason why I have a thing with Candace is because she went from, he was shot from behind, and then she goes backwards and says, never mind, he was shot from the front. And
I don't
there's
think
like a bunch. With me, I don't know. So I did a podcast episode live stream with Paramount Tactical on his YouTube channel as well, and I kind of agree with him. Like, as of right now, where the evidence points, that's where I'm leaning towards. And because, like, for instance, when Candace Owens came out with all this freaking nonsense, like, she even tried reaching out to me, her and her team, and I ended up telling them to just blow off. I couldn't stand, like, a lot of the things. Like, for instance, like, whenever she had a whole episode trying to condemn the guy that took the SD card out of the camera, like, why did he take it out of the camera so fast? Like, that's tampering with evidence. I was like, yeah. And I was kind of upset. I was like, yeah, not because there were people looting the table and going up to the table after the assassination and stuff like that, taking stuff. I would want to preserve that evidence too. And that got handed over to the agents and all that stuff.
I disagree.
Wait, I gotta say this. Allie, the video that got demonetized, just think about that video when what's the name brought it up and I got demonetized or whatever.
Yeah.
He did not have to take the SD cards, because think about this. If they're looting, you'll take the whole damn camera.
Yeah.
You don't
that
take
has to be unscrewed. Has to be unscrewed.
Right.
Taken out.
So think about this. He took the camera down.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And there was 4 other ones around the table.
And he left them. So people were looting. You just grab this camera, grab that camera, take this camera down. You don't take the SD card. You take the camera. The camera is the one is what they're going to take to the pawn shop, not a damn SD card, right? But so if he was actually trying to make sure somebody was not looting, he would have took the cameras. And on top of that, just to add to that, there was security securing that whole premise after Charlie Kirk was taken away. So you don't have
not as quick as you think. The security was all tied up with the freaking old guy, and then the rest of the cops were handling all the people that ran up front that they needed to gather for testimonies. So no one went back in there until 10 minutes later, when all these other cops and law enforcement came in. And like this, there's the guy named Elder TikTok, who is a Mormon TikTok influencer, who's caught going up to the table, throwing stuff out, and other people going up to the table and stuff like that. But my whole thing is that even if they went to grab cameras, if they grabbed cameras with the SD card in it, that evidence is still gone, whether or not they looted the cameras or not. If whether or not someone was going to do that or not. It wasn't until later where people that were still kind of hanging around, they were told to kind of scram or whatever, because some of them were trying to grab their bags. I ended up losing my bag there, and I had my keys and wallet and my truck and all that stuff. So I actually had to stay with a friend for like 3 or 4 days until I can go back and grab my stuff. But
question though, isn't
yeah.
tampering with evidence against the law?
Is what?
Isn't tampering with evidence against the law?
Yes, but you
Yep.
know who I who I saw give that SD card to law enforcement though? That guy.
So you saw the camera guy give the SD card to
So
law
they
enforcement?
took all of us into the Keller building, and anything they gave everything over to law enforcement that showed up.
They were in the
That's
Keller building with y'all?
So everyone, yeah, everyone that they gathered for witnesses and stuff like that. I don't know if he. I think he was in a separate room. They had separate rooms for certain people.
So how
So
did
But there was a
wait.
Yeah.
So how did you see him give an SD card to a police officer? And why would he give an SD card to a police officer?
I think it was a separate room. There was like one FBI agent showed up almost immediately. I think they
How
have
did
an
you know he
office
was
in
an
Provo.
FBI agent?
So what?
How did you know he was an FBI agent?
I said it could have been. It could have been an FBI
No.
agent.
I'm
I'm not
talking about
sure.
what you said. You said
Yeah.
you saw him give the SD card to a police officer, and then you said FBI agent.
Well, I said it could have been. So I wasn't. I'm not quite sure on who it was. So all I know is that when we were all taken into this building, they had it all divided up in rooms, and they had a whole bunch of people set up in the back. I was set up in the back with the majority of just the witnesses that were there, rather than the team. Team members that were there were like put in a whole separate room, and
So
I
how did
imagine, huh?
So how did you literally said
I walked past because I walked past. You got to walk past. You can see these rooms, and I walked past.
how did you know he gave him an SD card?
or the correct
Okay,
one.
so I
Or
don't. So
how did you know
okay,
that?
so you can say don't know that for sure.
Yeah.
But I can assume if I'm gonna apply logic, I can assume that's possibly what he did. Most congruently,
Why? What did you
because if he didn't, most likely, since he was caught on camera, he would be thrown in jail, and he's not in jail.
What did you see? What did you see? You seen him hand something black to an officer?
No,
What?
so I saw them all get put into a certain room. So that's the thing. So all the
Cameras with them, or the cameras were left at the tent?
Oh no, they were left. The cameras were left. I think. Well, whenever I ran out, they were left.
I'm a little confused, and the audience, I think, sees it. One, you can't take SD cards out of a camera. That's tampering with evidence. Two, if there were looters, they would have took their cameras, because a camera is more valuable to the average person than an SD card. And they're students. These are kids. They're not going to say, hey, I need that SD card so I can sell it to TMZ. They're freaking kids. They're like,
yeah. So
ooh, hats. Ooh, a camera.
And
Pawn
also,
shop.
I wanted to say this, when he was on the chair,
Hold on.
there was an unidentified officer in a shirt with a weapon, guarding him, taking it down, guarding him, going around and around and around.
There was a guard there through the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that because he did that later, right?
Oh.
Yeah. Because so here's my thing. With the people that went up to the tables.
Wait. Hold on. Because we just watched this. The video got my channel demonetized because the guy was walking around with a gun so much. So I think that's what it was, Ali. I think he kept walking around the gun. I think that's probably what got demonetized.
He showed it. He actually shows it too.
Yeah, because he kept walking around. So the reason why it's so fresh on my mind, because we just did this yesterday or whatever, right? Or yesterday.
Yeah.
The guy was like patrolling the area. The second Charlie Kirk got hauled off to the car. This guy with this blue shirt with his gun and a guy in the burgundy shirt was patrolling the area. So there's no reason for him to take the SD card, because the first thing I thought is, why are they giving more security to the camera guy than the Charlie Kirk? Who is this guy in this blue shirt? He was not around during the show. He just came around after Charlie Kirk died.
Which video is this?
It's about a 3-hour video of
3-hour video?
Yeah, of the whole entire thing.
Wait, where? I haven't even seen this video.
Yeah,
it's okay.
I've only seen clips. I've obviously only seen clips on like
he goes
TikTok
around
and
everywhere,
stuff.
and he stays up in the courtyard, and he's filming everything. It's about I think it's about almost 2.5 hours. Yeah.
During the whole thing too, like during the event and then after.
Well, he was up on the roof. He was up on the, I don't know what part of the university it was.
Yeah, so there's
then
the Keller building.
Down.
Yeah.
And that's the video when the aftermath.
My question is, why would you say, I got it right here. I'm gonna play just a little bit of it. I'm not gonna get demonetized. It's okay. But
yeah.
Okay.
You see this?
Yeah.
No. Did you see him do this?
Do you know who Rick Cutler is?
And then he held up his watch. Okay, that's cool. He had a brown shirt on. It's okay. So next thing you know,
at it right now, or at whatever I can see.
Okay, so next thing you know, this thing in his shirt was not a mic. It was a pellet discharger. And it went pop. And that's why he went up like that. Because if he would have got shot, he would have went like he would have got hit like this. It would have like went like that. So he went like this. So that means something shot up in his throat. So next thing you know, and then the wound was so big that was not a gunshot. It was a pellet. Because a pellet
definitely something small.
You're saying it was like this big?
This is a cartridge.
I've seen every ballistic.
Yeah.
When they have done every single one, that same exact shot, you cannot puff up the shirt like that.
It's air.
How are you doing, Henry? Are you all right?
Can you guys? Yeah, no, that's just very interesting because that makes sense with the air, with the shirt, the physics of the shirt, right?
Yeah.
And that's something that didn't make sense to me was the physics of the movement of the shirt.
Yes.
Everyone tried to equate. So everyone tries to equate it to like the amount of energy that his body produces.
No,
but his shirt does like his shirt does like a wave almost.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Your body does not create air.
That's so interesting.
The human body does not create.
Isn't it? It's very interesting.
Question: how close were you to the tent when it happened and after it happened? Were you able to look over or see something?
Yeah, I was by the rail.
Nobody's seen. I'm just going to say juice, red juice. You know what that means, right? Nobody's seen red juice. Can you explain to us why there was no red juice, even though red juice was shooting like a fountain, but it never hit the ground?
Even when they carried him. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was no red juice nowhere. So right here, you can keep talking. I'm just going to show a video.
Yeah. Because I'm down there doing
something. Okay.
My
At first, it looks like the guy.
All I saw was really it spilling out. I didn't really focus on whether or not it like hit the ground or anything like that. You know what I mean?
And when he does, he doesn't hit the ground. He doesn't hit the ground. He's on top of an equipment case.
Okay.
Just so you know. That's
you didn't peek over anything and look at anything like, oh shit, look at
no, dude, because during that time I was trying to scan the rooftops whenever that happened. After I started seeing him fall down, I started looking and trying to see if I could see anything on the rooftops. And because like I said, we were so crammed together that we would have to allow other people to leave first before any of us could even move. And I think the last thing I wanted to do was jump over that rail and get tackled by some of his security trying to think that I was trying to do something. Yeah. So I think everyone was just trying to run out the opposite direction or out towards the front. But I didn't have to. I wasn't even able to see him get carried away because I wasn't focused on that at that time.
Okay, that makes sense. Al, you got anything?
That's so interesting, though. That makes me want to like.
It is also. He wasn't on the ground. Dan Flood, when he was falling over, Dan Flood held him, or we want to say kind of guided him. And I have the actual a picture.
The guy with the metal glasses.
We can't show it, but they never took him off this case. Charlie's head is on top of wheels of an equipment case. They didn't even put him on flat on the ground.
And where was the trap door, Henry? Where was the trap door?
The trap doors were
to his left.
Hold on.
To his left, yeah.
It would have been to his left. The whatever. Yeah, they would have been to his left.
Could somebody have went into the trap door without anybody seeing?
No.
Was it covered by anything?
No. Someone would have seen it.
So the trap door was outside of the tent, correct?
Yes, I showed you pictures of that.
Yeah.
But they could have made a new one. That's what we were talking about. There's two metal trap doors outside the tent where they mic'd him, where they have the mics and where all the camera guys are miking Charlie, right? There's two trap doors there. But who's to say underneath the table there wasn't something else there? Because they paved everything over. It's a crime scene, and we haven't even had, a week to process this.
Yeah.
Or days. I think it started like 2 days later, no?
48 hours.
Yeah.
48 hours. Yeah. So
that was crazy. That was what was crazy to me. And go ahead.
Do you see why Candace and everybody else is up in arms about this? Because they paved over the place 48 hours. The damn camera guys stole the SD card, and it was security securing the camera guy. Security was securing the camera guy more than they were securing Charlie Kirk.
Yes. Yeah. They're giving security to the camera guy, taking the camera down. They weren't even securing Charlie Kirk.
So
this guy is. You see him? He yelling at people. That man ain't playing. He was more vigilant than the damn people. This blue shirt guy, he wasn't playing that shit. He was ready to shoot somebody.
Yeah.
Who the hell was that guy? Do we know who that is?
He showed up after Charlie Kirk died. He just mysteriously showed up and became this vigilant, militant person telling everybody what to do, brandishing his gun. I can't keep showing it because if he turns around, I'm gonna get demonetized.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But do you understand, all of us, and why we're still talking about this?
Yeah, but so I think my thing would be, like, I want you, Allie, send me some videos on the whole because I think everyone was calling it a mic, right?
Yeah.
The thing that caught everyone off guard was the pop or the crack.
Yes.
Which didn't sound like it came from Charlie's direction, but from. So what do you guys think about that?
He has a mic on.
There's a possibility that somebody was on the roof and they shot a gun, but it wasn't the person. It was meant to just say
distraction type thing.
Distraction. Well, that was my other question to you. What did you hear? What sounds did you hear? Because when I listened to it, I feel like a rifle, a 30-06, was fired off somewhere else at the same time, simultaneously.
And if y'all got any questions, drop in the super chat.
That is like perfect timing for that to happen.
We're talking about military people here. We're not talking about people that don't know what they're doing, right?
So wait. Remember,
but they're trying to make it seem like it was just an ordinary person.
But Henry, think about this. Remember, it was hand signals. Remember, it was this. Right before he got shot, Dan Flood was doing all this other stuff. So from a timing standpoint, there's a guy over here with a remote control that's ready to hit the button to pop it in his throat. And then there's a guy somewhere that he didn't even have to be on a roof. All you need to do is be somewhere else.
You know what that means? That means fire away.
That means
fire.
What
that means? Fire away. Yeah.
Right. So the thing about it is, so the guy was doing this to let the person on the roof know, shoot the gun in the air, and then because everybody else was ready for whenever Dan Flood did this.
We never heard from him, huh?
No.
He hasn't come out, but the head security guys came out and said some stuff, but not Dan, huh?
Brian Harpole, which was
He's
on
lying.
Charlie's right side. The
We call
the
him
guy in the blue.
Well, so was Dan, right?
Dan was like
Dan was behind him.
near the tent, and he was on top of a box, standing. So that's where Dan was. And then Brian was on Charlie's right, more on the side and
closer to the rail. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And his interview with Sean Ryan, well, we can debunk all of it.
You guys got me on a whole rabbit trail now.
All of it. We can debunk all of it because I'm working hours on this stuff, Henry. Hours. And so has Aaron, and so has everybody in the Scooby-Doo chat. Like, we have been working flawlessly in hours.
Now I feel like I haven't been working enough on it because obviously.
Sorry about that. So this is Dan Flood right there.
Yeah, I see him
at the bottom. I just wanted to show you a picture of him and how close.
Yeah, I know
he
what he looks like. Yeah. So and I was expecting to hear something from him come out, but I think it's odd that the head of his security team or personnel was the only one that spoke. But I don't know if they're trying to like keep him from saying something because everyone's going after his neck right now.
Yeah.
Like obviously because everyone went after Frank Turek too for the whole.
Did you watch Did you watch the interview? Just want to know if you watched the interview with Brian Harpole.
I've only seen clips, not the whole video. I've only seen clips on like. What?
You want to know what he said? He said he got a text from Jeffrey Long, the chief of Utah Police, that he is asking about the roofs, if he can get access so he can get his men up there. I heard that, above us, the kids are up there, and I want to know if he's asking the chief, like, I want to get the roofs covered. You know what the chief said? I got you covered is what he said in a text. And he showed this text on the Sean Ryan interview. And that's all he said. He goes, well, what am I supposed to do? Brian said, Chief got me covered. Your security, and that's vague. It's a very, very vague answer. If I was Brian, I'm like, excuse me, Chief, what are you talking about? Covered what? He's basically passing the buck, and I've said this on Aaron's other live. He's passing the buck to this chief now, saying, not my fault. The roofs weren't covered, not my jurisdiction. It's not my problem. He said, I got you covered. Well, I got you covered means nothing. What do you got covered?
So Henry, I got a question though. You live in Utah, right?
Yeah. Well,
and you said you were doing these debates on a normal basis. You do these debates on a normal basis, even though, like, just on a normal basis without Charlie Kirk. Is it a thing that they do, like in that courtyard, or what?
No? So I just do it as an individual. So like I said, but prior to
UVU,
so what
you do it at UVU or somewhere else?
I do it in Salt Lake City. Sometimes I go to UVU. Sometimes I go to Provo. Just kind of where
the place where y'all do that.
No, I do it at the front of towards the front where they have this Wolverine statue before you enter the liberal arts building. There's like some Jehovah's Witnesses that usually sit up front. I kind of just go up there.
Was it odd for them to use that courtyard to do that show with Charlie Kirk? Do they usually do it somewhere else?
So this is what I've heard. I don't know if it's true or not. So I heard that there was a possibility that he was supposed to do it in the auditorium within the liberal arts building. I don't know if you guys have heard anything about this, but someone said that Charlie said no and that he wanted to do it outside.
Turning Point USA.
They said no. Turning Point to the library, or not the library, the auditorium.
Well, Turning Point, the member, because the chief of staff, Mikey, he wanted it to be outside, and Charlie was okay with it being outside because it seems like Charlie is like, I don't care, whatever y'all want to do. I look at Charlie like, y'all are the boss. Y'all tell me where to go, and I'll show up. Like, because I'm the talent. So if y'all want me over here, what y'all want me to do? Because they're planning this whole thing before Charlie got here. Because Brian Harpool said they were planning the whole thing since the 22nd of the month before. So they were already there. So Charlie just pulls up and y'all like, where y'all want me to be at? Right. So Turning Point USA planned for this whole thing to be outside, mainly so he can get whacked.
And last year, because I know Candace spoke about this because they were at UVU. She goes, I clearly remember it was inside. She said everything
it was the
different.
auditorium.
Yes,
so
everything is different this year.
They usually in the auditorium and not outside when y'all have these debates? Is the question.
See, I remember everything.
So
hold on. Go ahead.
So no, I'm outside, but they have tables or whatever, like because there's been debates happening on UVU about his memorial, and they're outside in the courtyard.
Okay.
When that happens, and they've covered that on the news, where all protests and all this stuff about his memorial, and they're all
the debates. Do they usually have those debates inside or outside?
I don't know. I haven't. That was the first one I've ever been to.
There you go. From what I was told, it's been inside, so it's more safer.
Well, you can look up. I mean, you can clearly look up the last time Charlie was there or Candace was there, and it was inside in the auditorium.
And another thing you might not know, a lot of the people that were running the camera stuff, except Henry Phillips, that's their first time being there. Andrew's first time. All these new people just plopped up to do an event that they've never been a part of before. Yeah. A lot of new people, Henry.
And all of the old people there.
But the security has been the same, except for the camera crew. Even Andrew was the first time, I think he said.
No. The security team there has been issues with. So all of those men used to be, and I can't say the company name, you can look it up, used to be working for a different security team, group, company. Very, very well known. Okay. And in 2022, Brian and Dan wanted to leave. They didn't want to be with that company anymore. Apparently, the company said that they backstabbed them in the back, and they took their men and they made their own group called Integrity Solutions in 2023. Okay, I'm just going by timelines here. So he even says that in the interview, but I debunked Brian because no, you didn't work for Charlie in 2018. You worked for a company that worked for Charlie in 2018. So he kind of like goes vaguely around the company. He doesn't want to talk about the company.
His occupation or who hired him, who he's working for.
We took the men from the other company. I'd be mad too if I worked for that company because
you just stole employees.
Yeah, he trained. I looked at the website. I looked at everything. That guy did everything for those men. Something sketchy probably happened. Who cares? Now he has his own company. And 2023 now, Brian and Dan are the head of it.
Okay. So Henry, when you were there, did you see anything strange about the guys that had the EMT equipment? There was a rumor that the EMT guys were actors. Not actors, but they were going to school for evacuation training. Do you know anything about UVU having an evacuation training class or people being in evacuation training class or anything like that? Okay.
Yeah, because most of the time, whenever I was waiting in line, I was speaking to one of his security detail. He was actually a former UFC fighter. That's why I was talking to him, and I love UFC. His name was Alex, but no, like the most of the time I've spent talking or even observing that general area was really to the left. I didn't even know anything. From what I've heard and from what people have told me is that they didn't even have any EMT people there.
No. Which, for an event outside with over 3,000 people, 3,000 or 3,000 up, which he had, you're supposed to have fire, ambulance in the state of Utah, fire, ambulance. I know all this stuff because I do events, and my boyfriend was on the Beast Games. I know about all this stuff. Doesn't matter if it's a like a low end debate thing. He had 3,000 people there.
Mm-hmm.
Over. So you need fire, you need ambulance on standby, and police. You need all those three things. Another no-no.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on, I just found something. I didn't realize I still had it.
Okay.
I thought I erased it. That guy right there, the EMT guy with a red thing, and then this guy walking up right here.
Yeah.
Him.
Oh, it's Connor, isn't it? Yeah.
What the heck?
Do you know these two guys? There was a rumor that they were doing all of this as they took a class and now they're about to pass a test because there was like some type of trauma training, you know, like you're an EMT and they're like, okay, let's make something look like something happened so we can see if they're ready for this to actually happen. And they were in some type of trauma training or something. Those two.
During that whole thing, like, so they decide to make a training out of the whole event.
No,
with
they
those
took
people.
classes. They took classes and they weren't real. They were taking classes and they were taking this.
Yeah, I believe 6 months before it's online somewhere. Both of those, they're in a picture doing trauma, like for shooting and for
and they're carrying a person out, but there's nothing wrong with a person. It's just a fake situation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
like a drill. Like they did a drill.
I've never seen them or heard anything about them.
Well, they were there beside the SUV when they were taking Charlie to it, and the security just ignored them. They ignored them to the point of not even letting them assist. Okay, I have a problem.
Yeah, because I didn't see any of these two carrying Charlie to the SUV.
No, they did not.
They were there though.
But the reason why they have these red bags is because they are the people that's supposed to help somebody if they get hurt. That's what the red bags are for.
They have life-saving things inside that bag, and I know they do. What did Brian have in his little kit? I'm pretty sure that the EMS had way more stuff in there.
Look how much stuff is in that bag. Look, he got 2 of them. And they all went for nothing.
Yeah. Instead,
dude, I bet they feel so bad that they weren't able to like assist in any way.
Well, they were ignored by the security. And that makes me it makes me fumed a little bit. You know, they're there. They should be like, come here, help us. Come here.
Well, they're the ones more obligated, or not even more obligated, more certified to do stuff like that than the freaking security detail.
Yeah. At that point, I would tell the security, get out of here. I'm taking over. Somebody call somebody call 911. I would tell the security, get out of here. I have it from here. That's what I have a problem with as well. Them ignoring the EMS.
So, Henry, remember I said he handed everything off? This may be one of the videos. This isn't the video, but this is one of the videos, so I can show you. Who's right
that
here.
One?
That's Terrell.
Oh, Terrell.
Okay.
He's taking the SD card out right here. And see, he's looking around like, look.
Oh, that was the hatch, wasn't it?
Yeah, then let's see.
Okay. See, this is where I was. See the go back to the I can tell you precisely where I was standing when it happened.
All right, so I'm gonna back it up just a little bit. Remember these
doing
guys?
the whole oversight of the whole thing.
Do you know these guys? Those guys,
That
these red
guy,
shirt guys?
yeah, they were volunteers to help set up the event at UVU.
Okay.
So this guy right here is an actor also. Why he was running the mic. So when you went up to the mic, he's the guy who adjusted the mic for you. Do you remember that?
No, that was the other guy. That was the other guy. That wasn't that guy. I specifically remember. So
Okay,
the other guy that was right there, go back.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And this is when they were shooing everybody away right here.
Who's this guy?
Hold on.
All right, everybody, you need to leave the area all the way up and all the way to the south or the north.
It's all grass down there, right? And so now, after the shooting, students come back and they realize something's changed. They've torn up the grass. And they laid all these cool brickwork down here, such that the final event looks a little bit like this. Huh. How convenient.
You need to leave the area all the way up and all the way to the south or the north.
See what happened?
All right.
So you saying this guy?
No. Keep going.
Okay.
You guys see what happened?
Yes, I saw him. What's it called? Are you recording this?
Yes, you're live right now. Well, we're recording. I don't know if we're live because of the cell service.
So,
hang on.
Standing in probably the third. Okay. I was standing from probably the third row in the bottom. I saw hit. I heard the shot ring out. I looked to my left, and then I looked over to my right. I saw him slump over in his chair forward. He slumped over. He had blood down his shirt, and he slumped over and he was carried off.
Oh, him. Okay.
That guy?
He's the one that was adjusting the microphone for me.
Yeah,
Okay.
he was the one that adjusted. He does not go there. He literally was planted there.
Get off me! Get off me!
Emotions are running high right now.
So I'll show you the rest of it.
Henry, how long was the school locked down for? Or do you know?
Friday, Saturday.
Or did they even lock it down?
It was locked down for 4 days.
Okay. So when did you get out of
right
it?
here, pause. So see where that PVC pipe is sticking out to just the bottom right corner?
No.
Just the
Oh yeah,
little
I
pipe.
see it.
Yeah. That's exactly where I was standing when that happened.
Oh, wow. You were right there. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
A little bit. Hold on.
So the trap door was over there.
Local, state, federal.
So you said this where you was at right here? Where'd he go? I don't know. Maybe we lost him.
Where'd he go?
I don't know.
Oh, no. Did he say anything before he left? Oh, great.
No, he just said, oh, wait, stop right there. And then that's it.
Uh-oh.
Let me see. I don't know what just happened, y'all. So, what do y'all think in the chat? Chat, what do y'all think thus far?